Hey guys, so we're here back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Four Horsemen Studios at Mythic Legion's Covenant of Shadow, Cador. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we're taking a look at Cador. He is part of the Covenant of Shadow, which I believe was the pseudo-second wave of the Mythic Legion's line, brought to us by the fine folks over at Four Horsemen. And like I said in the Urku review yesterday, that sounds kind of funny. Almost has a ring to it like a new zoo review, huh? But as I said in the Urku review yesterday, Evil Villain hooked him up. He also hooked up this guy, so special thanks to Evil Villain. I will leave a link to his Instagram in the description below so you can go check him out. He likes all the same stuff I like, so he's automatically awesome in my book. So, with that being said, I'm joking, obviously, but it is true. Looking at Cador's accessories, he comes with quite a bit, all things considered. A little bit more than the standard figure would in some cases. He comes with the long sword, just like Urku does. Which I'm more or less glad that Evil Villain had this sword as opposed to Urku's, because this is a little bit more specific. Urku's sword is pretty generic. And then he also comes with the short sword, which has the same kind of handle deco on it there. See that? But I'm probably going to display him with these. Kind of fits his character a little better. I believe he was a mercenary for the Order of Aetheron, which is like all the Templar Knights and stuff. And then he broke off and joined Atlas, the Conqueror, and the House of the Noble Bear, which is the barbarian faction, which is probably my favorite, human-ish faction. I know there's dwarves and a big-ass Cyclops in that faction, but hey, it's diverse, isn't it? And he also comes with this mighty warhammer, which is a little warped, but I don't plan on using it, so it's not that big a deal. Comes with this kind of spike piece that plugs onto the end there. But there you go. I assume this was probably the piece that was lodged into the cellophane tray, as it were. And then on top of that, he of course comes with 2 shoulder pauldrons, and actually, this time around, I'm not cheating, he does have 2 straps. He came with them, Evil Villain hooked those up, so that's why he's got them on his chest like He-Man. Like I said, there's only one way to utilize 2 straps. This is the way to do it. Because you can't have just 1 shoulder pauldron, you can't just have 1 strap with 2 shoulder pauldrons, you gotta do it this way. It's the right way to do it. I don't care, fight me. It's up to you, really, but this is the way I like. But looking at Cador, his head sculpt, it is the helmet head, which we've seen before. On this channel, I believe Hagnon and Lord Dragul, the Hordak-looking guy, they had this helmet. But now I have a figure that's actually going to be displayed with this helmet, so that's cool. Gives off kind of a gladiator vibe, at least this way. I think he was in the arena with Clavius and all the Colosseum guys, if I'm not mistaken, at one point too, and Atlas kind of broke him out. But yeah, nice kind of a bronze gold color for his armor. He's got the more evil looking armor too, the more gnarly orc style armor. This guy's paint is very like raw and it feels like pavement. I love that. It's got a lot of kind of wear and tear to it. Feels just gnarly compared to some of the figures I have, so that is awesome. But articulation on this guy, it's going to be the same, literally the same figure as Urku, aside from the belt, little dick towel here in the head. But his head is on a ball joint. You can look up and down pretty well, actually. I didn't think this head got this much range, but it does. Shoulders go out to the side, back down, forward and back. He's got a hinge at the elbow with rotation. He's got a swivel at the gauntlet, swivel at the wrist with a hinge. This guy's got the same issue as Urku, whereas the wrists are pretty loose, so some clear nail polish will fix that, I am sure. But putting that arm down. I did swap out his crotch piece, just like I did on Urku as well, to give him tighter forward and back in the legs, which is a little bit tighter. It's not that big of a deal, but on top of that, he does have the kind of duct tape ball joint in the torso there. I put some duct tape in there to kind of stiffen it up a bit. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. I'm not the figure fixer type guy. I usually leave that to my old man, Mr. Brian, my dad. He usually is the fixer-upper guy, but I think I did an okay job here. Waist swivel, again, pretty loose, but I do have the original crotch piece, and when I do get, and my aunt made fun of me for this, but stock and clear nail polish, I will probably just hit the hip joints with that stuff, and it'll be all hunky-dory. But his hips do kick forward and back, and the in and out on this guy is pretty bad. This one in particular is really loose. He was especially a challenge to photograph in his dynamic pose, so yeah. But the thing with this is, if I don't end up fixing it and they do make an All-Stars release, I'll most likely put this guy in the packaging for the All-Stars release and tack him to the wall. So I'll still have him in my collection. I'm never going to get rid of this guy, or Urku, or old Romulus, because they're sentimental to me. So they're a little bit more special than really even Brother Mandibulith, who is the mascot of the channel. But he's got a thigh cut, a single joint at the knee, swivel at the knee, hinge at the foot with the swivel, and a rocker. And peg holes at the bottom of the feet, which in this guy's case, you might actually want to use those. But yeah, again, I gotta say, it's nice that the Four Horsemen have kind of perfected this line. It lasted long enough for them to do that, because wow, these older figures, man, the price people are paying for these, I feel bad for anyone who's spending any kind of money on these, because they're pretty loosey-goosey. And to my understanding, Evil Villain did not really mess with these too much, so they are essentially fresh out of package, with the exception of Urku missing a couple of minor things, which isn't that big of a deal because I resolved one of those issues already. But with that being said, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here is Cador next to the mighty Arethyr from the Arethyr Wave, as well as Mr. Malleus from the previous All-Stars Wave, both of which I've already reviewed on the channel. Up next, here he is next to a couple other Mythic Legions figures that I'll be looking at this week. Actually, we already checked out Urku yesterday. And again, shout out to Evil Villain for the hookup on these two. As well as Mr. Romulus, who we'll be looking at tomorrow. And last, but certainly not least, got our two regulars, Brother Mandibulus, of course from Advent of Decay, and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I think I like this guy quite a bit more than Urku, just based off his backstory and his personality, just seems a little bit more interesting to me, I have to say the issues I had with Urku are a little bit worse on this guy, which, again, is unfortunate, but these are older figures, and the older figures, not gonna lie, aren't perfect. The new ones I don't have half of these issues with, but these older ones, you know, with the exception of Romulus, who is the oldest one I had prior to getting these two, I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad this line survived long enough for the Horsemen to go in, fix all these issues, and now they're not really a problem anymore. Because, wow, the hip on this guy is a loosey-goosey if I ever saw one. But, again, an All-Stars release is going to fix all these issues. Do not go on eBay and spend over $200 for this guy or Urku. I know they're probably even more than that at this point, but for the love of God, do not do that. Wait it out. play the waiting game, save some money, and I think you'll get a better quality product. While I do like this figure a lot, and he is going to go on my shelf for now, I think when those All-Stars reissues come out, I will stick these original versions in the packaging and tack them to the wall with my Mortal Kombat Spawn and my reaction figures, because I'm never going to get rid of gifts from friends. Certain gifts anyways. These have a lot of sentimental value to me because they were sent to me by a good buddy of mine. Again, shout out to Evil Villain for the hookup on these. I will leave a link to his Instagram in the description below. But yeah, these are a little bit too sentimental for me to let go of, even if they re-release them. And I feel obligated to try and fix them with a little bit of that clear nail polish stuff. My aunt made a joke the other day saying I should invest in a stock of clear nail polish because I could probably use that much of it based off of all the loose joints I seem to be getting with figures nowadays. New figures, no less. So, Skelegon, looking at you. But with that being said, these will never leave my collection as far as I'm concerned. Even if they are reissued, I will just simply put them in the packaging. I'll give them their older crotch pieces back. I have new ones with some tape on that ball peg, as I've said in the Urku video and earlier in this one, to kind of tighten things up just a little bit so they're a little bit more stable. But when the reissues come out, I will have all the original parts in the box, and I will just have the All-Stars on the shelf because they won't tumble as much. But, you know, for now, I'm willing to deal with the tumbling because these were sent to me by a good friend of mine. So, yeah, I think that's a good way to end it. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at Overlord Productions for live unboxing videos of all kinds of stuff. And in case you did miss them, I do upload them to IGTV afterwards so you can watch them in their full train wreck glory. And again, don't forget to hit up Evil Villain as well. I will leave a link to his Instagram in the description below. If it doesn't work, hit me up on there. And I most likely, he's liked one of my posts recently or is in my followers. You can just look him up, Evil Villain there. You can find him through me if the link doesn't work. How about that? We'll go with that. I'm all flustered because, ooh, Mythic Legions. Mythic Legions always get me flustered though, don't they? But as always, don't forget to leave a comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure, if you like or don't like this figure, if you're Jones and Four, going to pass on this figure, or going to wait it out. I say wait it out, save some money. And again, you should get a figure that doesn't have the kind of strange looseness issues that the older releases have. It's a common problem, too. It's not just Overlord's crap luck again. So, just putting that out there. But as always, don't forget to keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And as always, I'll catch you guys later with a review of Romulus. Yes, one more Mythic Legions Grail figure to wrap up the Mythic Legions reviews for the week. How do you like them apples?